Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl Alicia coming to you with another inspirational video. It's been a while, y'all, but I miss y'all so much. I want to encourage somebody on today. Listen, life hits hard, and when it hits, sometimes we don't even know what to expect. We don't even know what our reaction's gonna be. We don't even know how to respond sometimes. Sometimes things come unexplained, right? Sometimes life hits so hard that we don't even know what to do. Many times we find ourselves making plans, right, for our lives, but God sometimes says otherwise. Sometimes we feel like we're falling in the will of the Lord, but still God says otherwise. Sometimes we feel like we're doing everything right, everything that God desires for us to do. And then, bam, something hits because God says otherwise. I want to encourage somebody. I don't care what your situation may look like. I don't care what your situation may feel like. I don't care whatever it is that you may be going through. Listen, when God says otherwise, always remember and understand that God got your back. He is always going to be there to pick you up. It may feel like God is distant from you. It may even seem like God is distant from you. It may even feel like you walking the journey by yourself. But understand this one thing: you are not alone. You are not alone. Okay? There is somebody who is going through the same situations that you are going through. There may be somebody who may be going through similar situations that you are going through. You are not alone. Even when it feels like you're alone, God is always surrounding you. He has dispatched his angels all around you. They are encamped all around you to hear your desperate plea, to see that you are crying. God is counting every last one of your tears. Hear me out and understand that although the task may not be easy and it may seem too hard for you to bear, understand this: ain't nothing, absolutely nothing too hard for God. All you have to do is trust in him. Trust in him completely, wholly. Listen, lean not to your own understanding, sister or brother, but instead allow God to direct your paths. You may say, Alicia, you know what? I don't feel like God is hearing me. I don't feel like he's instructing me. I don't feel like he's telling me what to do. I want to challenge you to hearken unto the Lord. Sometimes we don't hear God's voice. We don't hear him when he's talking to us. Why? Because we have so many outside things that are taking place in our lives that is causing us to not hear from him. Life happens. Listen, sometimes our lives get so busy to the point we don't even take time out to pray, let alone hear from God. But hear me out. God is there with you every step of the way. If you are going through a situation, if you are going through a circumstance, you don't even know how you're going to overcome it. You don't even know if you're going to overcome it. I want to challenge you, my sister or my brother, to set aside some time each day out of your busy schedule and sit and talk to the Lord. Don't just talk, but allow him to speak. See, sometimes we get to talking and chattering and just keep going on, and we don't give God enough time to speak to us. Sometimes our lives is so busy that we receive outside clutter. Our minds are cluttered. Our thoughts are just cluttered with unnecessary things. But I want to again challenge you, my sister or my brother, to hearken unto the Lord. Hear his voice. Listen to him. Okay? Some of us are going through circumstances. We feel like the end of the world is here. Like we just ain't gonna make it through what we going through. But the devil is a lie, and the truth ain't even in him. Pick yourself up, my sister or my brother, and continue to keep pressing your way through. I don't care how hard it may seem for you. God is right there covering you, comforting you, keeping you, watching over you. He is protecting you. Do you hear me? I know life hits. I know life happens. Trust me. I am a walking, living testimony, so I understand that life happens. But I guarantee you, my faith never wavers. It will never waver. I may feel like God ain't listening. I may feel like he's so distant. But you know one thing I know for certain? He is always there. Especially if you're walking in the will of the Lord. Especially if you're walking in relationship with the Lord. So my sister, my brother, I just want to encourage you. Be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. And understand that all things work together for the good of them who love the Lord and to those who are called according to his purpose. So live and walk in God's purpose and in his will for your life. Let me say something. It just dropped in my spirit. Sometimes we step out of the will of God and we start to do what our fleshly heart desire. But I want to say something. You're going to have to die to that flesh. Die to your fleshly ways. Continue to walk in the will of the Lord. Continue to allow his thoughts, his heart to live and reside down on the inside of you. Listen, many times we we get out of God's will and we can't even understand what's taking place or what has hit us. We don't even understand why we may be going through certain things and situations in our lives. But sometimes we got to check ourselves. Sometimes we got to check our surroundings. Sometimes we got to check, what are we doing that is causing us to fall out of the will of God? Or are we really walking in the will of God? And so the goal is to walk in the will of the Lord. The goal is to pray and seek his face continuously. The Bible says that we are to pray without ceasing. So continue to pray. Be steadfast and unmovable and allow God to do the will of him for your life. And walk in the will of the Lord. Walk. Get up and walk, my sister and my brother. And listen, don't be weary in well doing. Why? Because in due season you shall reap if you faint not. So continue to keep walking. I don't care how hard it may be. I don't care how hard it may seem. You got this. And guess what? God is right there with you. He's walking with you every step of the way. So my brother and my sister, I want to challenge you to be encouraged. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and allow all things to be added unto you. Until we meet again, God bless you, my sister and my brother. I love you guys so much with the love of Jesus Christ. Bye for now.